Hello, everyone. Welcome into Mattazone, and we're interviewing a lot of folks, of course, during this very busy week of the Dukes playing in the NCAA Championship Tournament here in Dayton, Ohio. The Dukes have surpassed and gone beyond the first four and next face the Indiana Hoosiers on Friday. But here on this Thursday, it's a day in which Coach Matt Brady and the Dukes have been busy with practice, more media sessions, and Mr. Bourne, the athletics director at James Madison University. Well, he's here with us as well. We're going to spend a little time with him today talking about basketball and JMU athletics in general. Mr. Bourne, thank you for joining us today. Hope you're having a good time here in Dayton like all the other JMU fans.
It's a great place to be. I mean, you look at the weather outside and think, oh, a little snow, that would normally have you down, but it's great for the JMU family to be here.
Mr. Bourne, the JMU athletics program now supports 18 sports and a very holistic approach. Certainly there are those marquee sports, the football and the basketballs, and we could probably argue which other ones are marquee programs. But the men's basketball team has been one in which the program is one that's been down for a number of years. Matt Brady was hired to come on, and as he has now got this team in the NCAA championships, that's what you want to do as a goal of the program.
No question. We've said over the past several years as we do our strategic planning, there's tremendous benefits to not just the athletic program but the university for this kind of exposure. I mean, this event and what it means across the country really gets the name of James Madison out there more than almost anything that we could do. And the individuals that it touches and the implications it has for admissions and the reputation of the university is phenomenal.
Even when you go back to the previous president, of course, it's been interesting for Jonathan Alger. He's come on and been inaugurated, won a CA championship. Now he was here at the NCAA event on Wednesday night. But with all that said, going back to President Rose and some of the changes that took place about 7 or 8 years ago, there was some emphasis put on other sports, and men's basketball was one. But he had a particular vision for that, as I think even Dr. Carrier did.
He did, and a lot of that was to be good across the board. You know, JMU talks about competitive excellence, being good in everything, finding the support, facilities, operational budgets, and scholarships for all of our programs to be competitive. And Dr. Rose was very supportive of that. And we carry on that tradition today. We believe firmly that it's opportunities like that that give teams a chance to compete like what Matt and his coaching staff have done with the men's team.
Take us back, if you would, your experience last week in Richmond when the Dukes went in there and beat William & Mary, then beat Delaware, a very tight game against Delaware, and then really played extremely well in the win over Northeastern, and how that weekend kind of built for you and the JMU athletic program from your perspective.
Well, you could feel there was just a pent-up anxiety, and it really started about 6 weeks ago when you saw the team come together and start playing better. They started to have some synergy, and you thought, you know, they've really got some potential. And of course, making the run through the tournament was great. They kept getting better. They were focused. I told somebody early in the season one of the best things for me looking at the team this year was I watched the players smile when they're out there playing, and to watch them having fun. And you could just see that team grow. But our fans, the attendance, the energy, that was phenomenal, and the team fed off of that. And it's that type of support that we've got to make sure that we carry into the future and build on so that the Electric Zoo can be back where it was in the 80s and the 90s.
You spoke of support. Let's talk about that a little bit. The ticket allotment, surprisingly, was only 200 for JMU going into that first four game. It's a little higher, 550 for the second round game. But even though the allotment was 200, there were many more folks wearing purple and gold here on Wednesday night.
I spoke with several people after the game last evening, and they said, can't believe how loud it was and how many people, and then sitting in the stands just looking beyond our group of donors and supporters and fans, you could look throughout the arena, and there was a lot of purple around there. And those tickets had to be purchased outside of our block, probably through a StubHub or another option, but it goes to show the love and desire that there is for JMU sports, and the fact that people want to come out and get back to where we were in basketball back in the 80s and 90s. And there's, it's support. It's people wanting to be there, and that's great. I watched one family yesterday travel from Northern Virginia, a donor and her two children flew all the way out here just to come to this one game. She said, I was a cheerleader back at one time, and I want my kids to see this. So it was great.
In your position, it's a tough position administratively, so of course, just as it is in the president's position or whatever. You have to make tough decisions on many occasions. Some of them may not necessarily be popular to the populace, and sometimes, certainly they are. But how gratifying is it for you to see what this basketball team has done and to feel what the rest of the JMU Nation feels in this weekend's event?
Well, I believe firmly that we feed off one another. We really do. And when one program is having success and doing well, it carries into others. And so many of our sport programs have been doing really well over the past several years, and that then helps feed. Certainly this one's very special for me because we talk about challenges in programs that it's incredibly challenging to be competitive at a national level, and we've been down for a long time. So it's nice to lay down at night and know that these kids are having fun, they're doing well, and this program is getting back to where it needs to be.
And one more question, I guess, about what people know about James Madison University, particularly out in the Midwest. As you get a little bit further from the Mid-Atlantic and the Eastern Seaboard, they call us Bulldogs, or they'll get some confusion like that. You can't take it personally, but it would be kind of nice for others to know really how good a school and how good a place James Madison University is. And I think that's why a lot of us kind of hang around there and continue to work there if they'll have us.
I agree totally. I mean, those of us who work there and it's our family and our life, we realize how special it is. As we have a chance to do things like we're doing with this weekend and past weekends, I look for that JMU name to be out there further. The best indication I think we've got is look at the number of kids that are applying to this institution, just hoping that they can be a part of that student body. And that number continues to grow each year. No doubt as a result of this tournament, I think those numbers go up sharply next year.
All right, Mr. Bourne, thank you very much for taking time with us today. I know you've got a busy schedule. You're enjoying yourself here as well, but it's a business trip. It's also a little bit of fun business as well, but thank you again for joining us.
Glad to do it. Go Dukes.
Go Dukes. That's Mr. Jeff Bourne, the athletics director with the Dukes of James Madison University, and I'm Curt Dudley.